Hello friends and welcome to the Saitama Stacker channel. Hey, my name's Dean and I'm going to run you through what, in my opinion, are some of the most important things going on in the Saitama world right now are. If you're brand new to the channel, please know I only make these videos for entertainment and education and for community building around Saitama token. So please do your own research before investing in Saitama or really in any project. So what we're going to do is walk through the fundamentals. There are statements out by Russell, the developer, that I want to share with you and give you a little bit of, my personal take on that. And then we will talk about kind of this overall sentiment out there a little bit today. And I'll show you reflections and probably wrap it up for today with some other big things coming in the week. Okay, we'll definitely be doing some Ledger Nano stuff at some point this week or this weekend. It's just a matter of being able to dedicate enough time to really try to do a quality job of sharing that information with you as a community. So on these evenings where I've just got a short window, I'm going to stick with the basic format. All right, let's jump in and look at the fundamentals. So today is November the 17th. The current holder count, 243,381, an increase of 1,908 in the last 24 hours. Looking at the top of the page here, you can see comparable numbers on a few days prior to the Saitamask launch. And I think what we're seeing here is a little bit of hesitancy, and that hesitancy can be for positive or negative reasons. I'm guessing, based on some other things that I'm seeing, that people are just holding back a little bit, waiting for Saitamask, okay? So our market cap has pulled back from 3.7 billion to 3.28 billion, which is right around $4.5 million from yesterday, but very comparable to where we were 2 days ago, actually a little bit ahead of where we were 2 days ago. So our price currently 707425. I'd like to see us maintain that support level and push forward. Volume has dropped down to 44 million, which again, we see comparable types of volume on the same screen here. Before we went kind of into launch mode there were several days in a row that were 36, 44, 33 million. The burn is relatively small because the volume is relatively small. And the burn speedometer would suggest that at current volume and price, it would take 84 days to burn 1%, which would be about 4.35% of the total original token supply per year. We've burned about 4.7 trillion tokens in the last 24 hours. Okay, so, overall kind of slower activity, and just my opinion, but I think what we're seeing are maybe a combination of two things. I think people who are looking to make the quick profit or drive the price down, they're pretty much out of their positions. Those of us who are holding and are looking for greener pastures, we want to see some evidence of greener pastures to get in. And one of the biggest things I think everybody's waiting to see is the launch of the Saitamask wallet. And I would kind of think of this akin to if I was planning on going to buy a new cell phone and there was a press release or maybe a press leak that there were new phones of whatever brand it is that you're thinking about buying coming out. For me, I've got an iPhone. So if they said, in 2 weeks, the new iPhone, 15, I don't know where we're even at now with that, is going to launch. If I were thinking about buying a phone, I'm probably going to put those plans on hold for a few weeks so I can have the latest technology. And I think that could be some of what's driving this, reduced new holders, the lower volume. I think we're just holding. People want to see something good. We want to see the Saitamask, and we really need some positive news. The KuCoin listing still hasn't come to fruition. And I think that's in the back of people's minds. Okay. There were some other things. So those are things that are positive looking forward that we want to see. And then after the event in Vegas, there's been a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, a lot of attacks on the community, a lot of people just digging around and trying to dig up whatever they can to damage the current confidence. I'm not going to say the credibility of people, because people's own actions determine their credibility, but they're trying to get the members of the community to have a reduced confidence in people who have taken upon themselves to lead out. Okay. And so some of those claims were somewhat substantiated, you could say. I mean, there were proof sources that there were things that people needed to address. And I talked about it, specifically with Russell. There were some reports in the past that there was some kind of something that he had happen in Alaska. The details aren't very clear unless you do a public records request. And from what I could see, I mean, there wasn't really any penalty associated with it. So I wasn't overly concerned, but I thought it would be a good thing if he addressed the community. So today on Twitter, if you look in his Twitter feed, he did exactly that. Okay, so if we just pull up his feed, I actually thought I had this up, but okay, now if you look under tweets, you don't see it, but under tweets and replies, you will. And he basically just put out a PSA. Now, I know a lot of people might think, it's not anybody's business what the dev team's history is. And to a certain extent, I think we don't need to go digging back through everything and try to wreck people's lives. But when you put yourself at the front of a community that has collectively invested $6 billion, people are probably going to want to hold you accountable. They want to know who those people are. And I've said many, many times, you guys, I've never seen Russell or any of the development team tell us anything that hasn't come to fruition. Okay, right now, the only thing I can really point to that's in that category is the KuCoin, and we've done what we need to do on our side. We've got to wait for KuCoin to do theirs. I saw this with Coinbase with Shiba Inu, where we heard we were going to get listed. They actually did get listed. Then they got delisted. And then it was 90 days before Shiba was relisted. Okay. So here's Russell's PSA. And he also mentions that he has a high level security clearance, which requires obviously background checks and anything that's an impropriety dealing with finances or a seedy past that's egregious would prevent you from getting a high level security clearance. So that's why he's put that out there. But here's this PSA. And it just says, it's come to my attention that a public record of myself is circulating around regarding a misdemeanor charge from several years ago. For inquiring minds, everything after the age of 18 is public record for anyone really looking. If you're not from the United States, you may or may not know that, but after you're 18 years old, pretty much anything that happens to you from a criminal perspective becomes public record and is searchable. So he says part of being doxxed is that you put your image and information out for everyone to see. We have and will continue to be fully transparent in everything we do. To shine a light on this specific topic, it is a misdemeanor charge from several years ago, long before crypto, that I paid $1,000 fine for and moved on. In no way, shape, or form did I serve jail time or anything else circulating. So he's talking about there's the other rumors circulating around with this. It's a misdemeanor charge similar to a DUI. I think it's safe to say we all have made a few mistakes in life we've used as learning opportunities. This does not obviously have any relevancy to Saitama, nor does it hinder my ability to operate this company. Instead of ignoring claims, I figured it would be best to address this personally and clear up any confusion. At the end of the day, we're all human and working towards the same goal. Our only focus and priority right now is to continue to push this project to the next level and create an amazing opportunity for our holders. Okay? So I'm just going to say, I agree with Russell that it is important that because he says, I figured it would be best to address this personally and clear up any confusion. Yes, it is. It's very important to address it personally, because not addressing it is like a sweep under the rug, and it's going to do more to damage people's confidence. If you're able to come out and say it, take responsibility, and know that you're in a better place, I think people can be accepting of that. Okay. And to me, this was the final piece of the puzzle that I wanted to see responded to and answered. I've been very supportive of the Saitama development team. I think there are some extraordinarily bright people working on the development. Max, when we see the Saitamask, we'll know his full skill set. But these are complex things that they're taking on. And if they pull it off, we're the ones that are benefiting. Okay. So, Russell, I just want to say thank you for coming out and addressing this publicly. I think again, like I say, it was kind of the last thing hanging out there that I think needed to be addressed, and let's put it to rest and move forward. Let's base our judgment of the development team on what they bring to us from here going forward, and really from what they've brought from the starting point of this to this point. I said it yesterday, this project really wouldn't be anything without the development team picking up the ball and running with it. It would probably have been a coin that had a little pump and went down to zero, flatlined, and like the other 14,000 cryptocurrencies that are out there, it would be nothing. But what is it now? It's a top 100 coin. It has a market cap of over $3 billion. Yes, it peaked up over $6 billion and dropped back down. In the whole cryptoverse, there are less than 50 cryptocurrencies that have achieved more from a market cap standpoint. So I'm still positive on this. I'm glad that we're addressing some of these negatives, and I do think it's time to start looking forward and see what the development team can bring. I'd like to see the KuCoin listing come to fruition, but again, I don't think that's within our control. I think that's more on their side. I'd like to continue to see us grow in credibility and strength as a community, and see other major centralized exchanges get us listed. I want to see Saitamask come out. But what we need right now is kind of a palate cleanser, okay? We had some just fierce negativity come out and backlash from the Vegas event. And not everything that happened at the Vegas event was all that horrible. Really, I think coupled with the big sell-off, and then you look at a few of the things that went down and how they were perceived, it left a bad taste in people's mouths. So I think that stuff is addressed, and hopefully now we'll get some good news that will serve as a palate cleanser to get the project moving forward again. And if the development team can come through with the things that they're promising, then the future looks bright. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So let me show you my reflections, and then I'm going to wrap this one up for the day. Okay. Again, because it is a low volume day, I expect a low reflections day. And basically, I've received 80 million Saitama tokens in the last 24 hours. Okay. That brings my total to just over 18 billion Saitama tokens since August 31st. At the current prices, see if it's this price cannot be correct. There we go. Let's look at that one. 78603. So we'll just call that, we'll round to 78. So brings my total reflections value to $1,400 since August 31st. Okay, so not bad. And I love the fact that my rewards are approaching close to 20 billion, which is what I gave away in October 31st. So I gave them away the Saitama project and the way it's set up has been giving them back to me. All right, folks, I hope you're having a great day. Please, if you're a part of the community member and you have positive feelings towards it, let's start getting the positive vibes out. Talk about why you're excited about the Saitama project. If you're excited about Saitamask, tweet about it. Share it on your social media. This is something new that's coming that I'm excited about. And let's get some positivity flowing in the project. All right? Have a great day, everybody. Check back with me tomorrow, and we'll watch our Saitama stacks grow together.